So you spent the weekend watching OU play Tennessee at home, and you saw some things in the stands. What happened?
Well, this is a message to all fans or people that call themselves fans. This is going to be a little bit of a rant session because I am very passionate about this topic. I don't even know how to start. Every time OU loses a game, the entire world decides to freak out about it. It's like the world is ending. No other team in college softball loses and it's put everywhere and everyone's like cheering, which is like, fine, hate us. But what bothers me and did bother me like when I was playing for OU is the amount of negative things that are said about the athletes from non-fans and also OU fans. Like, I'm calling you out. People just say nasty things. Going back to like when I was in college, I like freshman year didn't really realize that social media would be a problem. I didn't think that our own fans would be saying anything negative about me, about the team. In high school, you know, you don't have the experience of like if you have a bad game, people are on you on Twitter, on social media, whatever. And so I experienced that a little bit freshman year. And like to this day, I still remember what certain people, it's always like a random username. Like they're too much of a wimp to even show what their real name is. But I'll never forget some of the things that those people said to me. And as much as you want to be able to shut that out, because one, I know like their opinion doesn't matter. Two, they have no idea what me personally was going through, what my teammates were going through, what we go through together as a team at practice every single day. They have no idea what we're working on. They have no idea what we're thinking. And just seeing some of those comments, like they stick with you and you try not to let it stick with you because you know it doesn't matter. You know they have no idea what the hell they're talking about, but it's also like words hurt. They would never say that to your face. And if they did, honestly, like, good for you. Like, say it to my face. Like, if that's how you really feel, like, say it to my face, and like, I'll still discredit you because what do you know? And then I personally got off of Twitter once season started because people on Twitter, I said before in like another video, but like people will tag your personal account, like not just like reply to something or reply to OU's post or reply. No, they will tag you and say how much you suck, how much they wish you would transfer, how much like saying you don't deserve to be here, you don't this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, says who? Like coming from like Frank1532, just things like that just really tick me off because it's the people that, again, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Ugh. Just going off of that, the athletes that you watch on TV, the athletes that you watch maybe in person at the stadium, any sport, they're not just there to provide entertainment for you. They're real human beings that have a life outside of that sport. Something that just also just really grinds my gears is how people think that all we do is play the sport. Like live, love softball. Like that's it. Especially like in college. I'm like, hello, we are student athletes. So we have to go to school. We have to maintain our grades. We have weights in the morning. That's just like softball related and school related. Outside of that, like you're trying to maintain relationships. You're trying to like have a social life with the time that you have time to recover, call your parents, like, and like still feel like a normal college person. Balancing all of that or like dealing with mental health problems or dealing with like family problems. Like people are going through shit, like everybody does, but people just expect athletes to just not have to worry about that. Or like, oh, they don't have to worry about that because like they play this team on Friday and I get to go watch and criticize the out of that. It goes back to like what we learned in kindergarten, people, is like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it, because like these athletes, if they see it, it might stick with them. Like I am a little bit more of a sensitive person where I remember things like that. And which is why I got off of social media. I turned off notifications on Twitter. I never went on it. I wasn't looking at it for a reason because I don't like to see those things. I remember, which everyone does, you remember the negative things more than you do the positive ones. I could have 500 positive comments made about me, but that one really rude negative one like is the one I'm gonna remember, and that goes for everybody. And all I just ask is when you comment on someone's freaking page or you decide to tag them in something rude, like one, you have no idea what that person's going through. Two, you have no idea what that person's practicing. Three, would you ever say that to your daughter, granddaughter, niece, nephew, like to their face? No. So just because we're athletes and we play on a television that you can watch doesn't mean that we're any less of a person.
Well, and on that note, like every athlete out there is somebody's son or daughter, or granddaughter or grandson. And, you know, it could be your neighbor's kid. It could be your friend's kid. And like, they're all someone's kid. And especially college sports, college students are growing up in front of our eyes and they're playing the sport on a national stage. They're growing up and being developed into amazing humans that are going to have an impact on the world later on. Like they are going through a ton. And like, you're right. The rule of kindergarten. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And also, like, I will never understand how fans take things so personally. I'm never going to understand that, because like even playing, I don't take games personally. Like that is just something that I did. It had no bearing on me as a human. So if I had a bad game, like I'm not going to be happy about it, but I'm going to shake it because I'm fine. And like I will never understand how people who don't play, who aren't at practice, who don't coach, get so involved in these teams. Or like, you know, you hear about these men, like, you know, like football fans or whatever, and their team loses and they're like crying or like getting actually like physically angry. And it's like,
and women are the emotional ones, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, why? It's a game. You're watching this for fun. Why would you want to take, like, one, why would you want to spread that negativity to someone else who's just going out there and doing their job? But two, like, why would you let it affect you like that? I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
But like,
and I think it's okay to be passionate about the team that you're cheering for and like your team. But when it comes to like, especially the negativity, it's like, why would you want to be talking crap about the program that you are choosing to love and support, especially their players who are people? Let me remind you again.
absolutely.
Because I think people don't realize too is like, at least us, we were able to shake things pretty quickly, like a loss when it happened. Like I think people expected us to feel super like how everyone else was feeling. Like it's the end of the world. And we're like, dude, like we didn't show up today. We weren't, all cylinders weren't firing. Yeah. Does it hurt? Yeah. But our mindset was like, we feel bad for the next team we have to play because our hitters are about to put up like 20 on them. You practice, you fix the things in practice, and it's like you move on. Like if we lost a game on the road and like the bus ride back, yeah, maybe the first couple minutes are a little like, we just lost. And after that, it's like, what can you do? You're going to sulk the whole couple, however many hours back home. Like, what is that accomplishing? Absolutely nothing. So we go back to our bus karaoke, or like some people would sleep, whatever. People make it such a bigger deal. And one of the announcers during the OU Missouri game brought up a good point, which we've been seeing this for years. If you follow college softball, OU loses a game, everyone knows about it. It's put out everywhere. And he was like, Missouri at that point had lost 16 games. Not one of their games that they lost was put out there like, oh my God, Missouri lost. And it's like, it's a compliment to like the program to be like, you know, people really want to beat OU. That is the team to beat. Very dominant team, great coaching staff, all of that. That's fine. But when people start to just like start hating on the players and like get a life, like what are you doing? Like, stop spreading hate. Like the world doesn't need any more of it. Especially like you said, developing, like growing college kids that are like trying to figure out their lives and like, oh, well, softball, the professional league, very small, not the same opportunities as men. They actually have to figure out like and have a plan of what am I going to do after softball is done? What am I going to do when I'm graduated?
Even what are you going to do after softball is done? What are you going to do in the off season for income? Because
exactly.
No, you don't make enough to live off of for the entire year.
Exactly. Well, whereas like men, which I'm not going to try to make this into like a disparity thing, even though it is, men in, you know, football, baseball, basketball, those like top 3 men's sports, they can have a plan of like, I'm going to go to the NFL, I'm going to go to the NBA. They can have the plan of going there and making millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars, more than like a doctor would make. For women athletes specifically, it's like, we have to think of like right after college, and like you said, like a secondary income of like, if you do play professionally, something that you can actually live off of. Now, that's just another thing in the mix of things you have to navigate, while also like going out and being expected by however many fans to perform your best every single freaking day. No one can perform at their best every single freaking day. Like you even think of like the best athletes, like my head goes to like Kobe Bryant. You think like he had bad days too. Like, well, the best of the best athletes still have bad days. I'm like, the people that are commenting these things, well, you've never had a bad day in your life. You never had a bad day at work. You've never had a hard conversation with your boss because you didn't give what you needed to give. But people aren't going on Twitter and criticizing you for it and saying like how much you suck at your job. It's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing.
One more thing, which might turn into another thing. We'll see. You know, you see on social media is people saying specifically about like OU softball. Like a lot of the things I see are about OU softball. Even though I don't follow these, they still show up on my feed. I saw a comment saying these women should be able to take criticism. The good fans, the good, nice people are, you know, trying to help out and say like, let's stop, you know, saying these negative things. And it's like, well, they should be able to handle criticism. First off, from who? From keyboard warrior over here. Why should anyone on this team or any athlete follow your criticism? Like, what gives you the right? What basis do you have to even give constructive criticism? And did anyone ask? No. They're getting criticism from their freaking coaches. They don't need some random internet trolls criticisms. Trust me, they've probably said worse to themselves than what you could say, but they don't need to be hearing it from you, because I can guarantee you, random user 54321 whatever does not know more about freaking Coach Gasso, Coach Rocha, or Coach JT. I can guarantee you that. You can't claim to know that you know what's best when you have no idea what this team does on a day-to-day basis. I don't even know what they do on a day-to-day basis anymore, because I'm not even on the team anymore. I have a sense because I went there for 4 years. That's why we always said the 21 versus everybody, because no one knew what the heck we went through other than those 21 players. I can tell my family about what we go on, but they have absolutely no idea what it actually felt like, what I was actually going through. They don't know. So user 54321 definitely does not have a single clue in the world. Man. And I know that this is not going to get on the right people's pages that need to see it. Hopefully it does.
Well, tag them. Like,
be bold enough to tag
people
them.
You're watching, share this to them. Yeah. Send it to them.
Like, as a fan, you're just supposed to support. Even if you think that they did bad, you don't need to tell them that, because I guarantee you they already know. Like, they already know. And you can just say, like, oh, that wasn't the result we were hoping for today. Like, but I trust in this team's capabilities, or I trust in this coaching staff to be able to flip it and learn from it and turn it around next game. That's all you have to say. You don't need to start criticizing people.
Hey, so-and-so, like, hey, they went over today. They weren't on today. And you just leave it at that. Like, we know they'll come back. It's fine. Yeah. Like, that's all you need to say. I guarantee the athletes that you're watching are way harder on themselves than anybody else ever could be.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
They don't need more
there if they weren't.
So not even thinking about, would you say this to, like, your daughter? Imagine if some other random was saying it to your daughter. Like, I'm sorry. Like, OU softball parents have to be the strongest kind of parents ever to be able to resist clowning all these people. My aunt, on the other hand, she goes off on these people, which she speaks for most of us. I get how easy it is to, like, want to share your thoughts, but you can do that without criticizing somebody. Literally, it's fine to say, you know, OU softball, they didn't have it today. We also prefer not to see that too, because one person says it and then the whole freaking world is saying it, but no one gives a shit about another team that doesn't perform well. But anyways, the second you start coming for, like, individual players, it's really damaging. It affects, especially if they see it, like, that can affect mental health, performance, because now, like, I know it affected me for a little bit, where every time I would, like, pitch, I would think, like, oh my god, I'm not good enough, like, I suck because what this one person on Twitter said I did. Like, I don't know, it's just stupid. But just keep your thoughts to yourself.
It makes me very happy that I did not have to grow up with social media. Yeah, like, there were chat forums, but it was always just conversations. There was never really anything negative out there. At least that my dad was all over those chat boards. I wasn't, but he never told me anything negative. But yeah, like, we didn't have Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. So I mean, Facebook, you had to have an edu address. So, like, there is nothing on there.
Really aging yourself right now.
It's fine. You know what? I'm embracing the old. I'm embracing it. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me glad that I played when I did.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
Which, like, also, I mean, coach tells us to, like, in the beginning of the year, to don't listen to the outside noise. We're in this, like, bubble, and only people in this inner circle know what we do, know what we talk about, know what we practice. So, like, anything external literally does not matter. And she stresses that so much because, like you said, social media is so accessible. It's literally at our fingertips.
24/7.
Even I'm in the habit of just, like, randomly opening an app, and I'm like, I don't even know why I did that. And then you see something, and then you end up doom scrolling and seeing what do people agree with this comment? Oh my gosh, everyone's agreeing with it. And then you're just, like, in this Twitter thread of, like, wow, everyone hates me. like just don't even look at that. Because again, these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. If you want to extend it, even more, like, news people, like journalists, they can be asking some real stupid questions too that get inside your head, or that, you know, they write things and they want you to give this answer that they're searching for. And I'm like, stop. Like, I asked to stop doing interviews unless it was necessary, because again, I remember all these small little things and they stick with me for freaking ever. There was one interviewer that had said, well, your performance last week basically sucked. Like, he didn't use the word sucked, but he was like, your performance last week was, like, not good, but this week, like, what did you do to, like, improve from last week? Which, like, That's a valid question, but there's definitely a much better way of saying it. So I was like, well, I didn't think I absolutely sucked last week, but like now that you say that, things like that would get in my head, even though it shouldn't. But like, my brain is always right. Yeah, after that, I kind of stopped wanting to do interviews. But at the end of the day, like me, my teammates, the journalists, the umpires, the fans, everyone, like after the game, we're all gonna go home and do the same thing. Probably gonna go eat dinner, take a shower, go to bed. We all do the same thing once the game is, over, all is said and done. So it's just kind of recognizing like we're just people too. We have a life. Not everything is to please the fans. We want to be out there competing. It shouldn't be our whole personality, and it shouldn't be the people watching. It should not be their whole personality either.
Yep.
Get a grip. I think that's all.
The moral of the story is be nice.
Yeah.
Just if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.